We all know the thrill of walking into a store and spotting a bright red tag. It triggers an immediate psychological rush. You see a high sticker price slashed in half, and you feel like you are beating the system. This chart breaks down the math of a typical smartphone deal. The printed maximum retail price, or MRP, sits at 50,000 rupees. The store offers a flat 30% cut, dropping your cost to 35,000. Walking out the door, you feel certain you just saved 15,000 rupees. But look at this new baseline. The true wholesale value of that phone, what it actually costs to manufacture and distribute, is only 25,000 rupees. You didn't save money. You paid a 10,000 rupee premium over the product's actual worth. Behavioral economists call this anchoring bias. By printing a completely fabricated price ceiling on the box, the manufacturer manipulates your perception of value. They set an artificial anchor so high that any price below it feels like a bargain. This is an engineered structural exploit. It extracts unearned wealth from uninformed consumers, wrapping a massive retail markup in the illusion of corporate benevolence. To understand how corporations get away with printing astronomically high, entirely fake prices on their packaging, we have to look at how tax laws shape market behavior. This flowchart illustrates the older excise era of taxation in India. When a factory produced a good, the manufacturing tax they owed the government was tied directly to the printed retail price on the box. This system policed itself. If a company tried to print a fake, highly inflated price just to create a marketing illusion, they were hit with a massive financial penalty at the factory gate. The higher the printed price, the more upfront tax they paid. That safeguard vanished with the transition to the GST era. Today, goods and services tax is calculated strictly on the final, discounted transaction value at the cash register. The link between the printed sticker and the tax bill is completely severed. With the financial penalty completely gone, manufacturers realized it cost them absolutely nothing to inflate their price tags. The MRP stopped acting as a protective ceiling for the consumer and morphed into an unmonitored pool of imaginary value, a void we can call the phantom margin. The vast unregulated gap between a product's real cost and its fabricated sticker price creates a mathematical playground for financial fraud. Let's look at how easily this margin can be skimmed at the micro level, right at a standard retail checkout counter processing a cash transaction. Here is the math of a quiet theft. You agree to buy an item at a 30% discount and pay in cash. The cashier hands you a temporary receipt. But after you leave, that cashier quietly logs the sale into the corporate computer at the maximum allowed discount of 40%. They pocket the 10% difference in cash. Standard financial controls will never catch this, because the physical inventory in the stockroom perfectly matches the digital inventory in the system. The stolen shadow margin remains completely invisible to corporate auditors.
When you scale this pricing loophole up to the level of corporate contracts and real estate, it becomes a vehicle for institutional corruption. Imagine a developer constructing a massive new housing society. They mandate every new resident must purchase a specific, standardized, eco-smart electrical bundle for their apartment. The manufacturer prints a staggering price tag of 150,000 rupees on the box. Behind closed doors, the supplier sells those bundles to the developer for 90,000 rupees. On paper, the developer's procurement manager looks like a skilled negotiator who just secured a massive discount for the building project. This waterfall chart reveals the true transaction. Because the actual cost to manufacture that bundle is incredibly low, the supplier has a massive margin to play with. They take a 20,000 rupee slice from their profits and hand it back to the procurement manager as an untraceable cash kickback for winning the exclusive contract. The everyday homeowner is the ultimate victim here. They are forced to pay an artificially inflated price that quietly funds the exact same bribery used to restrict their freedom of choice in the first place. If corporate buyers are getting kickbacks and urban retail shoppers are always getting massive discounts, who actually pays the full fabricated sticker price? Consider a premium pack of biscuits with a printed price of 200 rupees. Massive urban hypermarkets purchase thousands of units at a time. They have the leverage to demand a 40% wholesale discount, allowing them to sell the pack to wealthy shoppers for 120 rupees. Now look at the rural reality.
A daily wage earner buying those exact same biscuits from an isolated roadside stall has no such leverage. Because the small shop cannot order in high volumes, they get zero wholesale discounts, forcing the customer to pay the full 200 rupee price tag. Economists call this the poverty penalty. The poorest demographics, trapped outside hyper-competitive retail networks, are literally subsidizing the steep discounts enjoyed by the urban rich. This pricing epidemic breeds deep societal cynicism. When consumers realize they have to aggressively haggle and cross-check prices for every single purchase, instead of a flat limit, the printed price on a box cannot legally exceed a reasonable multiple, say 130%, of the product's actual baseline wholesale cost. Establishing a transparent price bandwidth protects the vulnerable, shuts down the hidden spaces where corruption thrives, and restores a baseline of integrity to the market.